Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? What is up? Today is Thursday, June 17th. We got 30 minutes until the market opens. If you're new here, please be sure to like the stream. Subscribe to the channel, helps out a lot. We got a lot to cover today. In today's video, I first want to cover before the market opens. Start off with AMC, what's going on there. AMC and GameStop. GameStop is going to be joining the Russell 1000, but AMC isn't. So we're going to talk about what that's going to do to the stock prices moving forward, because it could have some big impacts on AMC's price and also GameStop. After that, we're going to talk about crypto market. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the crypto market and an interview that took place yesterday with the Coinbase co-founder. He spoke a lot about crypto in general, about Dogecoin, about NFTs, and about just the market in general. After that, we're going to go over a couple of interviews that happened on CNBC. We'll pull up CNBC and the market open there. We'll see what happened with the U.S. weekly jobs report. We're going to go over what Cathie Wood and ARK Invest just bought, because they bought two new stocks. So we're going to go over all of that, but let's just get right into it. So let's start off with what's going on in the stock market. Right now, AMC stock price is sitting at $52 per share. We're down about 5.67% pre-market. So a lot of people are wondering, what does this mean moving forward? Why are we seeing it down? Well, over the last couple of days, we've seen it consolidate quite a bit after reaching all-time highs of about $72 per share earlier in the month, a couple of weeks ago. Now we're seeing AMC's price consolidate, and the interesting thing is even though it's consolidating, even though it's been coming back down, we've been remaining above that $50 per share, which has been pretty good. We might see it drop below that today, just looking at the trends. But the AMC short interest right now is still very high. It's at 23%. That's the short volume ratio. It's much higher than it's been recently. Over the last couple of days, it's between 18 and 21%. I believe it was as high as 26% on either Monday or Tuesday of this week. But now it's sitting at 23%. So you got to remember that this short volume ratio is definitely very, very high still. And this doesn't even take into account synthetic shares, what's going on behind the scenes, and what exchanges aren't actually reporting. This is all we know from based on what is being reported. In addition to this, the big news with AMC and GameStop, other than short sellers continuing to lose a lot of money, is what's going on with GameStop and AMC. So GameStop is going to be joining the Russell 1000, but AMC is not. And a lot of people are saying, well, how does this have to do anything with AMC's stock or GameStop's stock price? Like, how does this affect it at all? Well, okay, the thing is the rebalancing of these indexes are going to be taking place next week on June 25th after the market closes. And the changes were determined back about a month ago on May 7th, determining which stocks were going to be in the Russell 1000, which stocks were going to be in the Russell 2000. Russell 1000 is for large cap stocks, and Russell 2000 is for the smaller cap stocks. So in order for a stock to move from the Russell 2000 to the Russell 1000, it had to have a market cap that was over $7.3 billion. If it didn't have a market cap of over $7.3 billion, it was not going to be moving. And the problem is, back on May 7th, AMC had only a $4.3 billion market cap, and GameStop had about $11.2 billion market cap. So AMC fell short, GameStop got in. Now if we look at AMC right now, the market cap of AMC is well over that $7 billion number. We have been in the $20 billion range right now. If you look at the top right of the screen, it's at $27.6 billion. That's what the market cap is right now. So when we're looking at what's going on with AMC, why it didn't get in, you got to remember the reason it's not in the Russell 1000 is because all of this was determined back about a month ago, and AMC stock has risen 4 or 5-fold since then. In addition to this, another thing going on with AMC is that right now, when we see this rebalancing take place, what's going to happen is that the index is going to be selling a lot of shares of GameStop, because right now GameStop makes up one of the largest positions in that index. And once it sells, well, according to analysts, Steven DeSantis, he estimates that the net selling from GameStop stock will by index funds will be about 5 million shares. So that's because this index is going to be selling all of the shares of GameStop in the Russell 2000 and then buying it in the Russell 1000. The thing to keep in mind, though, is that right now GameStop makes up a very large portion of the Russell 2000. And once it moves over to the Russell 1000, it's going to be with stocks like Apple and Amazon, and it's going to be with much larger stocks. So the problem with that is that GameStop is going to make up a much smaller percentage of that total index. So in reality, they're going to be selling a lot more than they're going to be buying. And even though it doesn't impact retail investors, it still is going to have a bit of an impact. We're going to keep an eye out on what's going to happen that day. 5 million shares, it's not terrible because we do see typically more volume than that on a single day. Typically in a single day, we see about 10 million shares of volume, but during that day, that's definitely going to be a lot of selling pressure, considering that they're going to be selling a lot off in the Russell 2000 and then buying it in the Russell 1000. In addition to this, with AMC, how is this going to affect AMC? Well, right now with AMC, the thing is it's going to be the largest company in the Russell 2000 by far. It's going to be the number 2 position is right now about an $8 billion market cap. So once we see it in that number 1 position, once we see the rebalancing take place, it's going to be the clearly the largest company in the index, and it's going to make up close to 1% of the entire index. And this is important because that means that if we're seeing AMC's price go up another 5, 10x, we see 1,000% gains like we've already seen, or we see, it drops down back to where it was before. Either way, it's going to have a much larger impact on the index, and it's going to make it a little more difficult for active managers to figure out what investments they want to make. If they're just going to stick with the Russell 2000, well, that means there's going to be a lot more AMC being bought, because if you invest in the index, essentially they're going to buy more of those shares. It just has to keep that same ratio. So we'll see what happens there. But either way, I think this is going to be good news for AMC, not great news for GameStop. GameStop, there's going to be a lot more selling pressure. AMC, it's going to be the largest in the Russell 2000. Next up is I do want to go over quickly what is going on in crypto. So if you guys have not seen yet, but right now in crypto's up about 0.11%, relatively flat after a couple of days where we have seen the market just tank. It went up to $40,000 per coin, Bitcoin, the other day. Now it's back down to right around 38,700. Bitcoin's been making the major moves lately. Ethereum, Binance Coin, Dogecoin, those have all been held down quite a bit. And a lot of this has to do with what Elon Musk said a couple days ago with Tesla going to accept Bitcoin. Ever since then, we've seen Bitcoin continue to gain more dominance over the market. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is sitting right around 45%, which is a little higher than we've seen recently, which is a good sign. The big news in crypto, though, the other day was with the Coinbase CEO, the Coinbase co-founder, excuse me. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but one of the Coinbase's co-founders, someone that people don't talk about a lot, his name is actually Fred Eshram, I believe that's how you say it. And he came out in an interview with Bloomberg. We talked about this a bit briefly in last night's live stream, but essentially what's going on here is he talked about how a couple of different points, like 5 or 6 points. The most important thing that a lot of you guys will appreciate is with Dogecoin. He said, if crypto has taught us anything, it's never to dismiss a good meme that couldn't later manifest into more concrete progress. The importance of this is that it's saying, like, look, right now when we're looking at Dogecoin, everyone says it was a meme, it's a joke, and the reality is it was a meme that people like. The communities continue to grow. It's stronger than most communities in crypto, and as a result of this, we're seeing some real progress actually take place. We're seeing a lot of real progress take place in the crypto world from coins that have started off as memes, and that's something just important to keep in mind, especially as we've seen Shiba Inu, Keep, and CHZ, all these other new coins being listed on Coinbase. It's exciting to see, how those will play out, what will happen with those coins, because we've already seen that just because something's a meme in the crypto world doesn't mean it can't turn into something a lot bigger. So we will see what happens there. Other things he did talk about, first of all, is he talked about NFTs. He said NFTs right now, probably 90% of NFTs created today are going to be useless. He said essentially just think of them like Think of them like websites. When websites were first created, everyone was creating a website, getting domain names, just making a website for anything. But now most of those websites have failed. There were millions of websites created. A lot of them are nothing now. But the thing to keep in mind is that that's the same thing with NFTs. There's going to be millions of NFTs created, but only a couple that are really going to stand out on top, whether we're talking about CryptoPunks, whether we're talking about all these other NFTs. There's not going to be millions that are going to be big. A lot of them are going to be worthless. And we've seen a lot of people say this, a lot of managers, a lot of analysts, and just the crypto community in general. They are big risks, but if you enjoy them and you like NFTs, well then, you know what? Go ahead, buy them. You know, everyone should be able to do whatever they want to do. Like we saw Dogecoin the other day, a Dogecoin NFT, the original Dogecoin dog meme, sold for over $4 million. The most expensive meme sold as an NFT ever. Pretty exciting stuff. And last thing he did go over that I want to touch on is that he said crypto is a nuanced issue, and that it's possible that the US gets crypto wrong. Today, you have a lot of regulators whose job is to mitigate risk and keep us all safe, and that's very appropriate. At the same time, I think crypto is the next internet-sized opportunity for the United States. And the thing going on right now with crypto is that a lot of regulators are saying, you know, we're not approving Bitcoin ETFs. We're not going to approve Ethereum ETFs. We're going to continue to just hold off on that because we can't control it. We can't regulate what's going on, so we feel uncomfortable. So we're not going to go ahead and approve these ETFs yet. And by doing so, they're going to miss out on a big opportunity. They can really get behind other countries like Canada, who've already approved Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, and other countries around the world which are more pro-crypto. So it's just something to keep in mind, see how soon we're going to get some of these ETFs passed, when we're going to see that happen, and hopefully it happens soon. We've been waiting for months now on Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, but they keep delaying the decision. We talked about this in the video the other day, but hopefully they do get that approved soon so the US doesn't get behind other countries in terms of being integrated with crypto and having companies accepting and wanting to do business with crypto. Let's take a look at the weekly jobs report. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the weekly jobs report came out a bit earlier, and there was a surprise increase to the highest level we've seen in a number of months. The first time filing for unemployment insurance for the week ending June 12th was higher than it was last week. This week it was 412,000 versus last week, which is 375,000. This is important because it was the highest number we have seen since May 15th. So let's play this clip right here. Summarizes really what is going on with the jobs report and unemployment data. It came out earlier this morning, about an hour ago. So let's take a look at this.
CNBC, Rick Santelli standing by at the CME in Chicago with some breaking economic data. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Mike. Well, we're moving the wrong way on initial claims. We were expecting a number to be close to 360,000. Our last look, 376,000, very close to the 1967 average of all initial claims, but we moved up. 412,000. And if we look at continuing claims, well, also a bit of a wrong direction move. 3,518,000. We were a whisker under million. 3,518,000. We were a whisker under 3.5 million last time, and that gets revised up. So that gets revised up now to 3.517 from 3.499. So basically almost exactly the same as this week's, although this week's is just a bit higher, 1,000 to be exact. Now, if we look at Philly Fed for the month of June, expecting a number around 31, pretty much what we received, 30.7, just to give you a rough idea. For April, we were at 50.2. That is a historic marker for the Philly Fed. And Mike, you know, I really enjoyed your opening today because you nailed it. If you look at where Tuesday's closing yields were, by far, 5-year, the kind of real world financing rate is up a dozen basis points as it sits right now, right around 90 basis points. And here's something fascinating. We closed the 30-year at 217 on Tuesday. It's now at 2.
Okay, so I feel like that's enough. Really what happened is yesterday, a lot of the big news yesterday was with Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, what was going on with interest rates moving forward and inflation. So now we saw this jobs report come out. Interesting data to see. We did see a bit of a surprise increase, and we'll see how this continues to play out over the next couple of weeks. If we continue to see increases, that would not be a good sign, but hopefully we continue, this is just a 1 week thing and we continue to see these numbers drop. Moving on, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Cathie Woods and ARK Invest have made a couple of major purchases the last couple of days of stocks that have had big dips that have really dropped significantly. One is a stock that had a massive short sellers report. We touched on this the other day, and then also another stock that a lot of people haven't talked about in a while. So the first one is with Cathie Wood and ARK Invest just added Roblox during the drop the other day, and they added about $11.1 million, 134,000 shares. Roblox price recently has fallen a bit since highs earlier in May, and the thing to keep in mind with Roblox is it has 43 million active users, daily active users, which is up 28% from a year earlier, but it's down from earlier in the year. So down from April, where it was 43.3 million. So this isn't a great sign. We would like to see these numbers continue to increase for companies where it's all about users and how many people are actively using the platform. So something just to keep an eye out on moving forward with Roblox, even though we did see a bit of a decrease in the total number of daily active users, nothing really to be surprised about, especially as we're seeing more and more open up and really everyone's getting back to normal. It's expected that we're going to see these numbers probably plateau for a bit because a lot of people who may have been using these platforms, whether we're talking about online gaming, streaming, really a lot of things just on the internet, a lot of these numbers are going to go down a little bit over time just because people are going to start getting back to their regular lives. People are not going to be at home just sitting playing games as much. So we'll see what happens. Right now, Roblox is the 29th largest holding in ARK's next generation ETF, about 1.12% of the total fund. And it's a stock that I'm invested in. I've liked it for a while. Just something to keep an eye out on is what happens with their daily user numbers. If their average time that a user plays on the platform decreases as well, just as we're seeing everything get back to normal, the entire economy opens up. But either way, Roblox is a stock that I definitely am excited about. And the other one is with DraftKings. We did a whole video on this the other day, so if you have not already seen it, make sure to check it out. We'll touch on this briefly just in case you did miss it. But Cathie Woods and ARK Invest bought $42 million worth of DraftKings. This is a stock that was hit really hard the other day after there was a short seller report that came out from Hindenburg Research. Hindenburg Research came out and said that essentially DraftKings is doing business in countries where online gambling and online sports betting is completely illegal. They said that that's what they're doing. And as a result of this, we saw DraftKings stock drop 12% immediately within an hour. The good thing with this is that this is a stock that very well could be the next short squeeze stock because we are seeing a lot of people talk about it on Wall Street Bets. We're seeing a lot of people targeting this stock now and wanting to invest in it because we saw short sellers come out and say, look, I'm not buying. Short sellers came out and said, look, we are shorting the stock. And anytime short sellers come out and say that they are shorting a stock, well, then that's when we typically run into a situation where retail investors get behind it. So because we already know an institution is shorting it, so then retail investors get behind it to make institutions lose a lot of money. Either way, though, that's a stock I really like long-term. Growing industry, a leader in the space, and they have partnerships with the NFL, UFC, PGA Tour, and a bunch of other sporting organizations. But let's get into 10 minutes till the market opens. Let's check out CNBC real quick. Let's see what's going on here.
In crypto.
Look, Iron Finance is tight.
Even the off-brand ones, if you will.
It was panic sale. When I read it, I have, like Paul Tudor Jones suggests, 5% of my assets in Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I read this and I say, okay, that was the wrong one. That's what I said. I said that's the wrong one. I mean, like I raised points about Tether the other day, saying their balance sheet is bad. That's a interaction method for coins, and that the New York State Attorney General won't let them be in New York, and no one cared at all. It was like that piece was like a treat for. I did 2 pieces on it because I had Tim Massett, formerly of CF at the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and he was very worried about Tether. And I think that people yawned and would rather play Tether ball than worry about Tether.
The moral of this story, may be, Jim, that it doesn't necessarily matter who the big name is who happens to be a supporter of XYZ cryptocurrency. It's so volatile that a lot of these moves are driven by the Musks, the Dorseys, perhaps the Cubans of the world, and they can still lose. You can still have extreme volatility.
Just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean, this is a good lesson for CNBC, just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean you're always right. Billionaires get it wrong too, okay? And I do want to point out that a lot, that it's, again, ideological. Like people just think you can't lose money in it, and you say that if you sell, you're breaking the ranks. You're breaking the ranks of hold. This is not Braveheart. This is money.
Do you have a thought on the Coinbase reiteration at Ray J to a sell, underperform?
I don't know. I mean, I'm with Lisa.
So a lot of what they're talking about here is, first of all, what's going on in crypto, how billionaires like Jack Dorsey, Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, every time they tweet something about a specific coin, we see everything just rise or fall based on whatever their actions are. Like we've seen over the last couple days, Elon Musk, really, he can control the entire crypto market. Every time he says something relating to Tesla or say something relating to, let's get rid of this real quick. Let's just get exit out of that. But so every time they tweet about something relating to crypto, we see the market move dramatically. But the key thing to keep in mind is that even though they're moving the market, we're seeing that these billionaires are still losing money investing in crypto sometimes. Like, for example, Mark Cuban has talked publicly multiple times about Polygon, and the price has gone up dramatically. But just because they had a good point that just because they're billionaires doesn't mean they're going to always make money. And Mark Cuban came out and said that he got hit pretty hard with the market and what is going on with crypto. But either way, if you guys are new here, we got about 7 minutes till the market opens. Please be sure to like the stream. Let's see if we can get it up to 100 likes. We're going to follow a little bit of what's going on with AMC. We did see the price rise pretty significantly over the last couple of minutes since we started our live stream. At one point, we were at $51 per share. Now we're all the way up to about $53 per share. So it would really help me out if you guys can like the stream. Let's see if we can get it up to 100 likes. Good morning, Billy. What's up? Leandro, Shane, Doc. What's up, Miguel? Timothy, what is up? Mason, always good to see you here. Stan, hello. What is up, guys? Right now, we're seeing AMC. For those of you who are new, AMC's price is at $53 per share. The big news with AMC is short interest right now is sitting right around the short volume ratio, right around 23%. Important to keep an eye on that because we still are seeing it very high, even though institutions are saying that they are covering their positions, even though we're seeing a lot of fear being spread. The thing to keep in mind is that we're still seeing the short volume ratio extremely high. In addition to this, the other big news with AMC is that AMC and GameStop, there's going to be a rebalancing taking place in the Russell 1000 and Russell 2000. The good news for AMC is that we are actually seeing AMC stay in the Russell 2000, and it's going to be the largest position by far. So that means anytime someone invests in that index, well, we're going to see more money being poured into AMC stock. On the other hand, GameStop's going to be sold out of that, so we might see some selling pressure on GameStop. We got about 4 minutes until the market opens. 5 minutes until the market opens. AMC's price is right around that $54 per share. Let's see if we could break above 55. We're down about 2.5% pre-market. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. And over the last couple minutes, we've seen a big jump upwards. Billy Howe, what is up? Mike. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Okay, so right now we are seeing, let's take a look. GameStop. GameStop's price is sitting right around, where's GameStop? GameStop, here we go. GameStop is pretty level this morning. We have seen them all follow that bit of a trend, but GameStop for pre-market is up 0.21%, so just basically stayed exactly the same. What's up, Daniel? It is moving, Leandro. GameStop, okay, we're gonna open up pretty much flat. AMC down 2.25%, but we are seeing it move upwards. What's up, Gregory? So we'll keep it on the screen here with these couple of stocks. If you guys are new here, we start at 9 a.m. every morning, go over a couple of different topics, what's going on in the market, and then we follow then we go back to the stock charts, follow a couple of things while the market opens, and that's the typical plan. Today we talked about AMC, crypto, we talked about Coinbase, the co-founder, we talked about the weekly jobs report, we also talked about Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. So if you are new, I'll be putting the timestamps down below, so you can skip ahead to any portion. What's up, Haroon? Daniel Tovar, what is up? Whew. Michael, what's up, Michael Martin? We're seeing AMC push upwards 2 minutes, 30 seconds till the market opens. We did cover a lot of other topics, so make sure to check those out if you are just joining us. I'll put timestamps down below. Everything from jobs report to crypto to ARK Invest and Cathie Wood. This morning, other stocks that I'm keeping an eye out on that I typically like, these are my long-term investments, is STEM Inc. Talk about this every single day. You can see on public.com that I do own STEM Inc. Another stock that might be making a move pretty quick soon is Tesla. Tesla's been consolidating recently. We haven't seen a lot of action with it, but something just to keep an eye out on. A couple analysts came out yesterday and said every single time you get the opportunity with Tesla, you should be buying it whenever we see a dip. So that's what they were saying. Tesla obviously has a lot going for them. NIO, those are just a couple stocks I'm looking at right now. Obviously, these this one right here, IRM, that is like a dividend play for me, but it has already doubled its price. It's up 100% since November. And DraftKings is one that I bought more of yesterday. So if you guys haven't already seen public.com, I wrote like a whole report on DraftKings. I gave you like 3-4 reasons why I'm investing in it. I actually bought it. So if you are not part of Patreon, you don't want to pay for Patreon, doesn't matter. You could go ahead, follow me on public.com, and you could see all the stocks I'm buying and everything I'm talking about. What is up? I don't know how to say your name. Pelirojo. What is up? What's up, Kevin? Okay, we got about 40 seconds until the market opens. Everyone was complaining that we didn't have the opening bell. We'll get that for tomorrow. We'll get that opening bell for tomorrow. I don't want to pull up CNBC right this moment, because if we did, we'd miss out on the market opening. Let me see if I can get it up fast enough. Live. Can we get it? Can we get it? We got about 20 seconds. We will see if I can get this done fast enough. Probably not. We will see. AMC is having that push upwards. That's a good sign. Here we go. We'll see if the market is opening.
In your mind, right?
Saying,
Well, and NVIDIA.
Market is opening
They
right
have less
now.
work
Okay,
to do
market
than Intel
just
in
opened.
terms of meeting customer demand. And then NVIDIA is extraordinary. You have to go back to the general meeting that Jensen Huang had last week if you really want to have the primer about what the world looks like. And here's something. Ford
If we keep it here, at least we will see the opening bell. We will hear it at least.
Jim Farley.
Yeah.
And if they had enough chips have done a number that I think would have just shot the lights out. But the reason why you don't have
Kelly
the
Rojo.
shortage is a
Red and
manufacturing
Spain.
shortage.
Red hair.
First of all, the Chinese are hoarding.
Okay,
but the
opening
real
bell.
issue is that everybody wants to
10
be in high
seconds
performance
according to
computing.
them.
And what's
But-
really your feature rich semiconductors. And they're not making that.
There we
All right, the
go.
opening bells, you hear them at the big board. Digital learning company Skillsoft celebrating its recent business combination up at the NASDAQ. Genetics company 23andMe is celebrating its listing via SPAC. CEO, co-founder Ann Wojcicki will join Tech Check this morning at 11 Eastern. We're looking
Brilliant woman,
very
by the
much
way.
forward
Brilliant
to
person.
that. Yep.
Okay.
And
Market
quite
open.
enjoyable, really understands.
Down a little bit across the board.
Exactly how.
Let's go back to AMC. Let's see what's going on there.
The company did have some
Take
problems before. Wojcicki
volume down a bit. There we go. Okay. Right now we saw a push up to 54.64 for AMC. And let me take this out. Right now, we're seeing AMC sitting right around $53 per share. A lot of volume right now, 7.87 million. That's a lot higher than we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Within the first minute of the market opening, most days we've been opening up, only seeing about 3 million in volume. So we are seeing that big push. Very exciting to see. If you are new here, make sure to like the stream. Every single day we go live, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We cover 4 or 5 topics before we follow the market opening. Today we covered AMC, the Russell 1000 and Russell 2000, what's going on there. After we talked about crypto, the market, how it's relatively stable, but a couple of big announcements. We also went over the Coinbase co-founder, what he said about Dogecoin and crypto and regulators in general. After that, we talked about weekly jobs report and Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, a couple of stocks that they just bought. So I appreciate all you guys joining us today. Let's see if we could get it to 100 likes. Right now, okay, let's take a look at AMC's at $54. DraftKings is up a bit. GameStop is in the green as well. We're seeing GameStop at 0.54% in the green, 224.18. Yesterday, the big news, if you didn't see it, the big news yesterday was with the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell. They pushed up the timeline for potentially increasing rates. Not the best of news. It was unexpected. And then this morning, the big news is with that weekly jobs report. We talked about how the numbers were a bit higher than originally anticipated, a bit higher than last week, over 415,000. So we'll see what happens there with claims, how it goes the next couple of weeks, if we see it just a 1 week thing, or if we see the claims continue to drop. What's up, Shane Clement? Leandro, AMC is moving by like 20-30 cents a tick, LOL. Yep, AMC, Kevin, Pump Day, AJ the Prince. What is up? Angel, Michael Martin, Daniel Tovar. How is everyone doing? 55, we see AMC breaking above 55. We'll see how this plays out today, but it's good to see moving into the market open. And right after the market open, we are seeing a couple of green candlesticks in a row. We're seeing everything just move upwards rather than see what happened yesterday, where we started off the day just tanking, and ever since then we never recovered. So hopefully today we can see the opposite. AMC does have a high short interest still, 23%. Shorts have not covered, and when the rebalancing takes place for the Russell 1000 and Russell 2000 next week on June 25th, we'll probably see a lot more money going into AMC. What's probably going to happen is AMC do better than GameStop, because GameStop, there's going to be a lot of selling pressure. Okay, let's take a look. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Bottom corner. There we go. And let's put the volume
on the chin lately out of the materials space.
Chinese has decided that copper's gotten too high. I think the steels were looking for an infrastructure bounce, but they seem not be able to even get that through. And we should talk to Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's in control of the country right now.
You see this?
like Manchin.
You see this call on Disney today by J.P. Morgan, reiterated outperform stocks. Moving a little bit this morning, and it's given 175. Not so bad for shares of DIS. Over the last few months, it hasn't done all that great, right? A lot was already in.
Disney, they have so much going for them in terms of what's going on with streaming. Disney Plus has done way better than anyone could have ever imagined, grew a lot faster. We've talked about that stock. It was one of the first stocks I talked about on the channel, not on this channel, but on our second channel, about like in December or October of last year. We talked about Walt Disney, and it was at $95 a share, right around there.
But it hasn't reacted well.
You were going to recommend to sell the stock?
What is up, Antonio, Stan? Have I looked at AMP? Let's take a look at, let's go back here.
Disney specific thing, or is it a little feel about some travel related stuff?
Oh, that back down. Okay, so right now we are still at higher volume than originally we thought. 11.96 million, almost 12 million volume for the day already. We're seeing most meme stocks, everything's pretty relatively flat this morning. Like the market, NASDAQ, 0.04% in the green. S&P 500 up about 0.11%, and the Dow Jones is also up about 0.07 all across the board. Nothing too crazy. AMC though did make some big moves. This morning we saw it pre-market right when we started the stream at about $50, $51 per share. Now we're up about 7-8% since then. Everyone keeps wanting me to pull up AMP. Never. It's down about 0.11%. But let's stay on what's going on with AMC and GameStop this morning. This is the 1 minute chart. Let's take a look at 2 minute chart. I mean, the good news is with AMC, even with all of the FUD being spread around from institutions, even with the rebalancing that's going to be taking place in a little bit, we're still in a really good position. We're still in a really good position, especially to see a short squeeze, because we are seeing the short interest over 20%, which is what you want to see. What is an ORPH? Floriza? I don't know what ORPH is. So, anyways, that's what's going on. Let's take a look at CNBC real quick, and then we will go over a couple more things, and then
The spend for digital.
For the market
We
open.
think it may
Stay a
be
little
prudent
bit
to cut the dividend, get rid of the dividend. To do that, he cut the dividend. He increased the spend in digital. The stock went from 125 to 200.
203.
It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, but I do think that the way the story was communicated, it's now become Disney Plus is now ESPN, where I have to watch every single day. He didn't talk about the franchise. He didn't explain how great it was. He emphasized something. Again, Disney Plus is now ESPN, so if it doesn't have any ads, stock goes to 150. I mean, you shouldn't have put that narrative. It was not a good narrative. If I spoke with him and we were having lunch, I would explain to him how to do that conference call. I'm on more conference calls than anyone in America. That's actually true, by the way. And that was not a good call.
Quickly, before we go to break, Netflix overweight at KeyBank, since we're talking about
but
Disney.
then he said that they
stock's
didn't have
$100
enough.
Definitely, Disney's a stock that pays a dividend, massive growth with the streaming, something I definitely really like to see. Let me know if you guys like when we put the CNBC on the screen and we watch a bit of that, because we definitely could do that more now on, but just let me know if you guys think we should do that. Do you guys want to see what's going on CNBC, or do you not really care? Yeah, so just let me know. What do you think about us pulling up CNBC sometimes? Water Boy. I have not heard about what's going on with that, with Viacom. Haven't heard about that. I'll look into it though. Definitely look into it. CNBC's fine. Okay, cool. Cool. Samuel De Leon. Thank you. Anyways, I think we will probably head off for the day. Come back up. We'll come on a bit later, do a couple more videos, and make sure to join us every morning at 9 a.m. Make sure to join us every single morning, 9 a.m. We're going to be doing the market open like we've been doing for a while now. So make sure to join us, like the video. If I put Dogecoin in the title, usually my videos do a little bit better, but not going to do that. We're talking about market open, AMC. So just make sure to like the stream always. Join us at 9 a.m. and I will see you guys later in the day for another live stream at around 3:30 p.m. and we'll also see you in the morning tomorrow. So have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys in a bit. See ya.